There's been a change, Ferris, back in years in the past, everyone loved coming into the healthcare field, and we had a lot of nurses, we had a lot of caregivers, we had a lot of people that were excited about the nursing field. And now in today's generation, Ferris, it's like a complete difference. A lot of people aren't really rushing into healthcare or to become a nurse or to become a caregiver. What do you need improvement in?
Just want to go through the moon.
What is the purpose of overthinking? You're taking care of your loved one. That's how you can increase your sales.
Hello, everybody. This is Ferris.
This is Caleb Lenore, and welcome to another great episode of Conversation with the Homecare Guyz.
All right, Caleb. Today, man, we have an amazing episode, man. We're going to be talking about some of the services that we offer, in particular, how family caregiver has really went through and took win and actually have impacted many Georgians today, man.
Exactly. Ferris. But before we dive into that, into our topic today, man, tell me about the weekend. Thanksgiving is finally over.
Man, that right there, my stomach turned upside down, man, because I'm like, we had so much great food, brother. Thank you for hosting Thanksgiving first, man.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I hosted. So this year I did something different. I wanted to host Thanksgiving at my home, and so I had all my family to come, and it was like around about 35 of us.
Yep.
But it was a great time. I saw my nieces, nephews, cousins, even in-laws came, and it was just a great moment. I'm gonna tell you this, Ferris. I wanted to tell you this. What was your favorite dessert that you tried at the house?
Oh man, our cousin Terrence, he made some type of crunch cake or something like that. It was amazing. The only thing I hated about it, he only made one small pan, and so you had to really get to it really quickly. So we're gonna have to try to get him to make some other stuff.
It was a pecan cake with like some kind of whipped cream frosting. It was so good.
Oh man!
And so that was one of my favorite desserts, and I think one of the favorite meal items. I love sweet potato souffle.
Oh, bro, that was
sweet potato souffle.
I had some of that last night.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Lisa with catering with this grace. They catered the food for us for the Thanksgiving this year.
Man.
But yeah, I'm excited. So now Christmas is right around the corner, Ferris. Well, are you excited about Christmas?
Brother, Christmas is around the corner, so we get into that Christmas spirit, man. I think I'm super excited only because it's a holiday for the kids, I think. I'm really not big on the whole thing, but just seeing last night, my daughter, she actually got a chance to decorate the house. Like, she's actually really good. She actually... I helped her put up the tree. She decorated the tree by herself. She put up the garland and the stockings and everything. She was on her little ladder and everything. So I was super proud of what she did. It was amazing. I just like seeing her eyes light up as well. Oh, and our little man, he's trying to figure out life, trying to figure out what's going on. He's just knocking himself over. So, but man, how about you, man? How the Christmas holidays treating you so far?
I'm ready for Christmas. So immediately after Thanksgiving, Mom helped me out with removing some of this stuff, and we already got some Christmas items already up at the house.
Oh, nice.
Which is great. And Christmas is really the most exciting time of the year. And so I'm ready for Home Alone. I love watching Home Alone.
Yes.
All these Christmas movies and Christmas carols, and I just like all of this stuff. So Christmas, I'm getting in the festive mood. And if you notice, all the radios are playing Christmas music.
Yep,
now.
exactly.
And so I'm like, that pretty much is always getting me in the good Christmas mood.
Man, like I see myself actually drinking more hot chocolate for the last few weeks. I'm a coffee drinker, but it's like when the holidays come, I try to start getting that hot chocolate in. So I've been drinking a lot of hot chocolate, and just like I said, I cannot wait for the movies. Start that little marathon. Hopefully it gets cold this Christmas. I want a cold Christmas.
You want white Christmas?
I don't care about the snow. I just want it to be cold. I want it to be like where you can turn the heater on and you put your onesie on and your fuzzy shoes and all of this. Yeah, so that's what I'm waiting for, man.
Well, that's what's up. Well, we're gonna dive into this our topic today, Ferris. And our topic today is actually talking about our services and how they're benefiting so many families and the importance of our services in 2023 because there's been a change. Ferris, back in years in the past, everyone loved coming into the healthcare field. And we had a lot of nurses, we had a lot of caregivers. We had a lot of people that were excited about the nursing field. And now in today's generation, Ferris, it's like a complete difference. A lot of people aren't really rushing into healthcare or to become a nurse or to become a caregiver. And a lot of our baby boomers are retiring right now, and those were the ones that that typically were the caregivers for their loved ones or their parents. And so this generation is really kind of upside down. And so we want to talk about some of the services that we have, we're taking place at Prime Care that is really benefiting our loved ones and our clients in 2022.
Exactly, man. One thing that we've seen over the last year, so Georgia introduced a program called Structured Family Caregiving,
Right.
and that's something we've been actually trailblazing since 2020. And so we've seen so many family members actually utilize this program to care for their loved ones because, as you know, in the past, traditional, like, family typically took care of family members.
Right.
Before there was Medicaid services and everything, back in the days, in the 70s, 80s, it was family members caring for their own loved ones. And so one thing that we saw was there was a huge influx of individuals that were waiting for this moment to care for their loved ones because they didn't want to go through and put them in a nursing home or put them in an assisted living facility. They had the wherewithal, they had the capability to care for their own loved ones. And Caleb, we've seen an amazing group of family caregivers that stepped up to the plate and that's caring for their loved ones, giving top-notch care for their loved ones. So we're seeing hospitalizations decrease, we're seeing falls decrease because family members are truly caring for their loved ones.
Well, and I want to tell you the reason why they started that program is because I was reading an article today and it just kind of made sense. I think they said that in the article, per 1,000 people that need care, there's only one caregiver.
Wow.
And so the reason why, if you have, thousands of clients that need services and a fraction of that are applying or caregivers, they have to come with another option.
Yes.
And so the other option is the family caregiver model, which Georgia and several states in the United States is taking a part of that model. And so we're appreciative to be some of the leading providers in that field, but that's why. And so, guys, this is not a gimmick. This is not anything that says, hey, this is like, this is a program that is licensed from the state that is allowing family members to actually take care of their loved ones and receive a stipend for that because, they're actually providing the care. Yep. They're assisting with the bathing, assisting with the food, the meal preparation, getting them dressed for the day. And so they're doing the work.
Hey you, yeah you. Are you taking care of an elderly or disabled loved one in your own home? Then I've got some news for you. Hello, I'm Crystal DeForest and I'm a health coach with Prime Care Home Care. I have been with them for a year now, but for the past 2.5 years, Prime Care Home Care has been helping some individuals take care of their loved ones that are elderly or disabled in their own home and getting them paid. If you would like to find out some more information on that and to see if you qualify, then give me a call at 706-540-3847. Remember me for SFC. Call Crystal at 706-540-3847.
And I like how you said, because I go through and read some of the Facebook comments sometimes on our different advertisements. People are like, is this a scam? Is this a gimmick or whatever? And guys, just like that, we are real people. We are licensed by the state of Georgia. Our home care agency is licensed by the state of Georgia. And this is a real program. Unfortunately, it doesn't cover everybody. It's only specifically for Medicaid-based individuals that qualify for certain waivers, a SOURCE and CCSP Medicaid waiver. But this program is actually allowing thousands of Georgians to be at home caring for their loved ones, and they are receiving a stipend to care for their loved one. It has been very beneficial because, Caleb, sometimes, like back in the day, we've heard testimonies where people, they had to take off work to care for their loved ones, but because they took off work, the income stopped coming in. So they had to go through and decide whether to keep the lights on or buy food.
Right.
But now, since they're getting a stipend, they can have the lights on and food. They can go through and make sure mom is taken care of or dad's getting taken care of. And that's the beautiful part about it is Georgia finally stepped up to the plate. And said, you know what, we not on our watch. We will not let Georgians be out there underserved. We will not let Georgians be out there trying to go through and make sure they're deciding between food or shelter or electricity or shelter. Georgia said that we're going to go through and take care of those family members that need to be taken care of at home. And we're going to allow family caregivers to have to play their important role of caring for their loved one if that's the option that they chose.
Well, and I want to tell you this, and so that's one thing I commend Georgia. I commend our state and our legislator for making those rules. One thing that so that's one part of the program, which is the family caregiving model. But there's another part that we take advantage of as well, which is just traditional home care. Remember, I told you about the shortage of caregivers, which is pretty much 1,000 clients for one caregiver. And so Georgia has also put in a temporary temporary plan, which is through the state under the Appendix K model, and that plan is allowing family members to take care of their loved ones and work. So if you are taking care of a loved one and possibly with the family caregiving model, you can't work any outside job, but with the traditional home care, it's allowing family members, because of the shortage, because there's a significant caregiver shortage, they're realizing that, some members may not receive or may not need 40 hours a week of care. So some of those members that may receive 3 hours of care or 10 hours of care a week, and they're, because of the caregiver shortage, they're allowing family members to take care of those loved ones as well. And so Prime Care is a partner with our community with that program as well.
And Caleb, like that right there, I think it's so important. I know I think about one of our family caregivers who's a teacher. She's an educator, but she's caring for a loved one as well. So in the morning time, she gets up to get her loved one prepared for the day, and her loved one eventually goes off to the adult day center. And then after she gets off work as an educator, she goes and pick up her loved one as well and bring it back home. Both times. So before she goes to work at her 9 to 5, which is educating, and after, she's able to be a paid family caregiver because she gets up in the morning, she goes through and makes sure her mom is taken care of, because the state actually sees that, okay, well, hey, she does not necessarily have to go through and do that.
Right.
And the funds have been allocated because she did get approved for this particular program. And so a caregiver can come in to go through and provide the services. But just like you said, since there's a shortage,
right.
And what was happening in the past was we would staff a caregiver, and unfortunately life happens, people call in, and what happens is the domino effect. That means the educator has to call the school, let them know they're going to be late, kids in the classroom by themselves or with a parapro. It's just a domino effect. So she took advantage of the opportunity to go through and care for her mom, go through and actually make sure she gets to the day center, and then pick her up as well. And we're able to go through and pay for her, for providing those services, since the funds already been allocated as well.
And Ferris, that's what the article stated is that this program or this type of care is going to be pretty much progressive as we go into the future, because there's not a lot of people flocking.
Yes.
And a lot of nurses, there's a lot of people just not really flocking to healthcare. And I think COVID was one of the reasons that people, especially the healthcare, they're realizing that people say, it's not for me. When you're seeing all these deaths in the hospitals, when you're seeing you working long hours and you have to take so many preventive care, you're putting your life at risk. And so that's why I think COVID played a vital part with the states and different legislators coming up with these programs and these incentives for family caregivers to get paid and provide care for their loved ones.
Exactly. And Caleb, one thing I realized as well, in talking to many family caregivers, a lot of them have already been doing the services.
Right.
They're not
for years.
They're not getting into these programs because, okay, I can get paid. But they're getting it because it was already in their heart. They've already been doing it. But now that Georgia stepped up to the plate and say, hey, it's our responsibility to go through and actually make sure that your loved one's getting taken care of. And if you decide to be that person, we're still going to go through and actually pay. We're still going to compensate you for doing that, because what it does is it's a domino effect. It saves Georgia so much money, because now we're cutting down the cost of nursing home placement. Right. We're cutting down the cost of going to the emergency room every other day because something that can be prevented. And the family caregiver, they're some of the most caring individuals. They're ones that know their loved one like the back of their hand. And I think this is something that is just taking off. And I can see that it's going to go through and continue to make Georgia stand out as one of the premier states as well.
And you know what I think, Ferris, this program is going to also do, because of the shortage. I think it's going to ignite so many people to advance their careers in healthcare. I really foresee that, because as a family caregiver, people, if you're caring for anyone in general, you're doing it because you love you love that person and you love caring for people. And so I hopefully this sparks an interest for them to either advance their career to become a CNA or to become a LPN or RN and further their career or in any kind of healthcare arena. But I hope that this program is going to ignite, especially in Georgia, more family caregivers, whether they're working with their loved one or we're working with people in the institution or in home care, working for different agencies or so.
Bro, like when you said that, kind of reminded me again, like testimony time again. We've had several family caregivers that took care of their loved ones, and after their loved ones transitioned or passed away, they decided to stay in the field. Right. They said, you know what, this is the type of care that I was given to my mom or my dad, and I can go through and give the same care to someone else. And so they paid it forward and stayed in the field, and that's cutting down on that caregiver shortage as well, because now they're getting that firsthand experience, and they're saying, you know what, okay, well, this is something I can do, and I kind of like doing this, and I see the impact that it's been had on my mom or my dad, so I can give that smile to someone else. And so that's the type of cycle, that's that pay it forward type cycle that's happening right now.
Exactly. And some of the other programs that we're doing, same for the pediatric department. Fairs. Our pediatric department is definitely a growing department, and a lot of people aren't aware of these services that are provided for kids from ages 0 to 20 years and 11 months, and they can receive in-home care services under Medicaid and have a caregiver or a family member to take care of their loved one in their home. And so that's another program that I have seen and heard so many success stories, even from my manager,
yes.
How many lives that we're impacting and how beneficial these services are for their loved ones. Because a lot of kids, because they have so much, they're medically fragile and they have different health issues, their parents can't work full-time jobs, Fairs.
Yep.
And due to them not working full-time jobs, a lot of 90% of their time is pretty much taking care of their loved one. And if they can't work, they can't pay bills, but they're providing for loved one, it's providing a household where, they have a lot of lack.
Yes.
And so this is providing some supplemental income for them to provide, to take care of their loved one, take care of their child, as well as create, have some income to come in for the household.
Man, I really feel like every service that we talked about today, every testimony that we've received from family caregivers in the past and ones that we receive in the future, it reassures that we're on the right path.
Right.
It reassures that the heart position of service is still the number one priority here at the organization. And I just want to give a big shout out to all of the family caregivers, all the caregivers out there, all the nurses out there, everyone who's served, especially during this tumultuous time of COVID-19. But the ones that stepped up to the plate and said, even during COVID-19, I'm going to step up and actually become that caregiver. I'm going to be that CNA, that PCA, that family caregiver, that nurse.
Right.
I just want to go through and actually tip my hat to you guys, because this is what makes the world better. If we just continue to care and provide care, I feel like just the world can be a better place, man.
Exactly. Well, there you have another great episode of Conversation with the Homecare Guys. We wanted to talk to you guys about our services that we provide and how impactful they were in 2022. And as we go into 2023, we know there's going to be more lives and more families and more lives that we impact, not only in Georgia, but in our neighboring states as well. And so we're excited for you all to come on this journey with us. Remember, if you know someone that is a caregiver or is a family caregiver and probably is not aware of this service, I want you to reach out to us. We have our information, or you can Facebook us, or you can Instagram us. You can give us a call at our headquarters office for our marketing department, and we want to talk to you all about those services that can be beneficial for your loved one. And so there you have another great episode, Ferris.
Oh man, that's a great episode. Go ahead and tag a friend. Go and let somebody know that, hey, Conversation with the Homecare Guys every Tuesday and Thursday. We're dropping dynamic content. We're informing the community. We're going through and educating individuals about what's going on in the healthcare field. We're bringing entrepreneurial advice as well, and also motivation as well. Exactly. So guys, we just want to say thank you for joining us on this journey. Again, continue to tune in on every streaming platform, and we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.